Welcome, everyone, to Job Search Accelerator Summer Camp Live Series. I am your camp director, Anna Morgan, and I couldn't be more excited for our session today with the incredible, amazing Judi Fox, hashtag Fox Rocks. If you're not following her, do it right now. So grab your sticks, pull up a chair. I'm going to tell you a little campfire story about how Judi Fox and I met on LinkedIn. It goes all the way back to August 18th of 2019. And I noticed Judi Fox was following me. And at the time, following was somewhat new. So I sent her a message and I said, Judi, thanks for the follow. Let me know if I can ever do anything to help you. I see that you do a little bit of job search coaching as well as LinkedIn video content strategy work. And I'm starting a little side hustle in addition to my corporate, my corporate gig. So I am interested in learning more about your background. I have a little Instagram account, Anna Morgan Career BFF, but your story really resonated, and I honor your perseverance and all the awesome things that you have done along your career journey. And I asked, who is your ideal client or referral? And perhaps we could collaborate or partner in some capacity in the future. And we went on to exchange multiple voice notes. And I loved one thing that she said about her time working with job seekers and career changers. And it was the privilege that she had the opportunity to literally change lives. And I couldn't be more grateful to have Judi as a friend today. Couldn't be more appreciative of this amazing platform, LinkedIn, that if it hadn't been for LinkedIn, I have no doubt that my path probably would not have crossed with Judi. So welcome to the stage, Judi Fox. How are you?
Oh, good. How are you? That was a great campfire story and not scary at all.
I went all the way back in our messages and I looked at that first, direct message I sent you and kind of went through some of our exchanges. And I mean, it's just been so cool to watch the evolution of both of our expansion and transformation here on LinkedIn. And it's just crazy to think about that it was August of 18, which is nuts because I started working with you in November of 19. So just a few short months later.
Yeah. So networking starts with one conversation and can start with a follow. It can literally start with a follow. That is the.
And I think you said like one of your practices back then is that either I followed you first or you followed me. And part of your strategy was that you would intentionally go and, support those people that were following you as a part of your, what do they call it? The law of reciprocity. Reciprocity.
So,
yeah, exactly. So let's see who we have tuning in. We have Shannon, Carrie is here, G is here, Dan is here. All right, don't let your dogs in. Oh, we always have to have Kelter. He is my favorite.
Looks like a fox, doesn't he?
He does. Oh, he's getting so big. Is he going to get a little brother or sister sometime soon?
I have no idea. What do you think? He looks very serious.
He does look very serious. Kelter, do you want a little sister?
I
think so. Andy Foote is in the house. Hello. This is so fun. Let us know where you're tuning in from. So I am from Atlanta, but I am vacationing in Key West. And if you all have been watching the news, we have had a tropical storm. So the power went out this morning and we've had all kinds of wind and rain. And I'm just grateful the internet is working. So if I suddenly disappear, that is why, because of Hurricane Elsa coming over Florida. So let us know where you're tuning in from. We have Dan says there's a foot sighting. Perfect. Lisa Parker's in the house. Everyone connect with Lisa Parker. She's new to LinkedIn and looking to network and land opportunities. He must know Anna will ask Judi 16 questions. Probably quite a few. So
Shannon, I love Colorado.
Oh, I know. I bet it's gorgeous. I think she was headed like to some adventure today somewhere. We got Frisco. DJ is in Florida with me over by Orlando. Simone is in Toronto. We have, being safe for sure. Kira is here from Atlanta. Eduardo from Dallas, Texas. What a great community. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in. We're so excited. So many of you know that Judi has been my LinkedIn coach and has really helped build my visibility here. When I started with her back in 2019, I had less than 6,000 connections and was using LinkedIn in all the wrong ways. I was very much all about me. And we started working together, and here I am today going live on LinkedIn and working with amazing humans. Gabriella's from Fort Lauderdale. We got lots of Florida in the house today. Awesome. So we're just going to kind of riff today, right? And talk about job searching in 2021, perhaps some top changes to the profile that job seekers could make to boost visibility. And
if
really,
anyone has any questions, put them in the comments. We want to actually talk about what you want to talk about. So any questions are fair game, and I can always bring out a obnoxious joke.
I think this is like a perfect time for an obnoxious joke.
Okay,
I'm always down.
Get it. I feel like I'm gonna try this joke out, and I don't know if I've ever done it. Okay. So, and I'm trying to turn it into a job seeker joke. Okay. So why did the chef start their own company?
Why did the chef start their own company? I don't know. I'm typing it in the comments.
Oh, do you want me to tell you the answer?
Unless the audience wants to guess.
Why did the chef start their own company? And of course, they use LinkedIn to help launch it. Just FYI.
Of course.
Are you ready for the answer? It's a really
I'm ready.
They wanted to whisk it all.
I love it.
Bad. That's really bad.
They wanted to whisk it all.
Whisk it all. Yeah.
Whisk it all. Yes. I am still like, I have to be honest. On my live the other night when Shannon said, "Did you hear about the boy napping in the woods?" And I was like, "No, tell me about it." And she was like, "He woke up," and it like went over my head the first time I heard it, and I was like, "Oh my God." Okay. All right. So now we got the laughs out of the way.
Thank you.
Yes. And audience, if you have some fun, campy, corny, campfire, dad jokes, put them in the comments because we're always looking for some good ones. So much has changed. I mean, really, since I started my business, since you've kind of niched down in what you're doing. And I feel like the job market has changed even from this time last year, and how people are getting visible and improving their social credibility on LinkedIn. And I would love to hear, from our audience, what are some of the things they love about LinkedIn, or maybe some of the challenges that they're having. And I know there's a lot of new bells and whistles on the platform as well that could be potentially overwhelming to job seekers, but are small changes that they could also make to attract more recruiters and hiring managers to their profile.
Yeah, I would just probably boil the platform down to, and Tracy's here for the corny jokes. Thank you, Tracy.
Yeah.
I like to think of everything as adding up touch points, because we will literally meet you for the very first time. And if anyone's meeting me for the very first time, they're like, "What's up with the ears? What's happening?" Or they might be meeting Anna. And we have to always assume that we never know when is the first meeting. Just like Anna said, we followed each other, we came across each other, and we had to build up the reputation. We had to build up the touch points. And that's as simple as that. We can never expect somebody to immediately be like, "Let's work together," 5 seconds after meeting each other. But so many people treat LinkedIn like it operates like that.
Totally.
And that's not how it operates, but we just need to go out there and ignore the noise and ignore people who are treating it that way and go out and take the ownership to treat it the way we realize it actually does work. Building up touch points.
Touch points. And then to that point, connecting the dots and those touch points, it builds trust, right? And that was another, I listened to a couple of our voice notes where after a couple of exchanges and some time together, and I was guilty of this, and I tried to basically push a candidate on you and say, hey, can you help this person out? And you were like, well, with all due respect, like, we haven't really worked together, and this is how I work, which it literally, like, it gave me pause, and it wasn't negative in any way, shape, or form, but I was like, this is how you do networking here. Mm-hmm. Not saying, here's a resume, here's a friend, take my word for it. It was more about building up that dialogue and that trust in the direct messages, and then later supporting content where that transformation ended up happening. So I talk a lot about that with job seekers, and I receive a lot of those messages that they see I'm a recruiter, and it's just like, here's my resume. Let me know if you have a match. And I'm always like, oh, it's so much work.
Oh my gosh, that was great what you just said, because the touch points and your experience is how the job seekers make you feel as the recruiter. So if you're interested in that recruiter feeling a positive emotion towards you, because really all at the beginning you're going to get is a simple feeling, positive or kind of negative, because we don't know who you are. So first impressions matter. If you just want a positive foot in the door, you don't have to open up that door super wide. It's not going to immediately be a job offer, but it's a positive foot in the door, like some good heels on, some good shoe in the door, whatever you put in the door. But that positive experience is always about making it easy for the other person on the other side of the communication. So when we think about where is the weight of the conversation, put it on yourself. So if you're the job seeker, you put the whole weight of the conversation on yourself. What that looks like is even avoiding, how are you? If the job seeker asks, if I am the job seeker and I ask Anna, how are you? That puts the whole weight of the conversation on her. And it's so mind-blowing when you think about where to put that weight.
Mm-hmm. So, and it makes such a huge difference. And I think if there are job seekers and career changers here, take notes on this when you are thinking about your outreach strategy to talk to your recruiters, to form a relationship and find a champion within an organization or that direct hiring manager. Really pause and think through that process. What is the language that I can use that is concise, that showcases your uniqueness and your value, and makes it easy for the person receiving that content or that text to say yes or to keep the conversation going? But excellent point, especially like, hi, how are you? Like,
I don't know how to answer that. That's so big.
Yes.
Unless you have a full-on relationship with somebody, instead of saying, how are you, say, I hope you are doing well. I'm reaching out today because of insert a job that if Anna has posted about it, she wants you to talk about it.
I want you to drop into my DMs and say,
yes, follow the lead. So many recruiters are making some type of content out on LinkedIn. I would say, I don't know what percentage of recruiters are out there, at least making some noise on the platform, even if they're sharing a post.
A lot of them are just sharing posts, but more are moving towards building their personal brand and talking more about topics that are relevant to the companies that they're serving or the positions that they're recruiting for. But yeah, that's super important. So what do you feel, based on what you've seen, say, in the last 6 months, is there one main thing that you see that job seekers have a chance to level up? Is it something to do with their profile? Is it engagement focused? Is it DM focused? What are you seeing out there?
I think, and I've probably used this quote a bunch of times, but the public conversations that you have do convert to private conversations. It allows us to build trust. So I would say the power of the job seeker is taking advantage of how powerful commenting on LinkedIn can be for you. A lot of people will say, especially when anyone becomes more active on LinkedIn, thank you, Orlando.
Thank you, Orlando. He's so fun.
The more LinkedIn is looking for conversation. LinkedIn thrives on conversation. So if you're just going out as a job seeker and being either a silent engager, or you're just like, I don't know what to post. I don't feel like the expert. I think we've all had those moments where you're like, I don't know what to post because I don't want everybody's eyeballs on me. The easiest thing is to go out and comment. And when I say the easiest thing, it also is the biggest return on investment. You literally will get results from commenting.
And that was the biggest thing that moved the needle for me going through your LinkedIn Business Accelerator was commenting. And I said this on a live the other night that I feel like that's where you start to like flex those muscles or build some muscle memory to start having those public conversations, as you say.
Yeah.
DJ asked, like, how can you tell a recruiter post from others? So I think that just goes to their headline, right? Mm-hmm. And seeing where they work and what their experience is. But I do believe the search bar on LinkedIn is incredibly powerful because you can search by keywords or hashtags and find those types of titles or people as you are looking for recruiters to connect with. So Jessica says,
I would add to that one was if you find one recruiter, so you find Anna, and you go see where she's engaging or liking or commenting, or find 1 degree of separation. So if I type Anna in my search bar and my filter, and I say, I want to find all the people that Anna knows, but I'm a 2nd degree connection away from, I can send a message saying, hello, Silver Fox. I'm just kidding. I love that it's Silver Fox Talk.
That's DJ.
Hello, DJ. We both know Anna Morgan. We've met through her. I would love to connect with you. And when you can drop a name, because you're a 2nd degree connection, you cannot be a 3rd degree, a 2nd degree where you both know Anna, even if you don't know Anna super well, if you've been engaging on her content, you're able to pull that kind of weight of saying, hey, I've been following Anna for a while. I saw that we're both connected to her. If you compliment Anna and you say something kind, it makes it easier for that person to accept your connection request if you're 2nd degree connection. And LinkedIn allows you to make that filter on your search results.
Incredible. Yes. So DJ says she's taking notes. Jessica says, hope you're doing well versus how are you? Same goes on the recruiter side. Jessica is a recruiter as well. So she gets those kinds of messages. And Bez is doing a little shout out. Ever since I met Judi Fox on Clubhouse, I started strategically commenting and it has done wonders. I've been asked to be on a LinkedIn panel from a user of a POV perspective, and new opportunities have opened up. Much gratitude. Yes.
Thank you.
Incredible.
I think it kind of what Bez is saying, it is a little bit, oh my gosh, I'm on LinkedIn. There is not one person that can ever know LinkedIn, because we have so many people who know so much about life and business and experience that we can all bring our unique perspective. That's why we don't have one career coach for the whole LinkedIn platform. And there is room for all of us, but I just want to encourage that, because if you learn from what you hear today, then it means you might want to work with Anna. Just going to say that. So because it's about how you feel and the energy, because honestly, I will just tell you guys, I'm going to hype Anna up right now. She literally you have changed my life. Like you have changed my life just by the energy that you bring, how you show up, how you bring support. And I don't think we talk about, you can have all the expertise in the world, but if you can have kindness and or just support or just whatever, this love, it's so powerful. So if you want not just job search accelerator, but also just like, you need to feel good when you're out there job searching. It's hard to get a job if you're like Eeyore, and Anna will not let you be Eeyore out there.
I will not let you be Eeyore. And I mean,
I don't know if that was helpful for anybody, but a big clap for Anna, because I just know that people working with her are like leveled up emotionally. Like,
well, it's like they get the job search acceleration, and then they get the BFF vibe as a result of that. And you know, I'm equally blessed because the coaches I hire, like you, and the people I get to work with become great friends, like G and Dan and you know, Shannon and Jolie, and just so many people that I've had the opportunity to support. And someone just said they finally just got the kidnapping in the woods joke, which makes me feel better.
Kidnapping. Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
It really does help to have an icebreaker conversation. Saying hi or how you are is great, but being prepared to hear the response. And I also think like one of the reasons Judi and I get along so well is that we both appreciate like that heart and humor and goofiness and just being real and you know, just having down to earth conversations. I think one of our first conversations were about the Gen X generation and how we were the lost generation compared to others. So it's just about like finding those commonalities. And I had a client recently say she's new to LinkedIn, probably less than 500 connections. And she said, I'm hitting a wall with adding connections. What should I do? And of course, I gave her some suggestions, but I'd love for you to share some of your tips, because I think that's a common question for people that are somewhat new. And most people come to LinkedIn when they have been a change has been forced, or they realize they want to make a change. And now I think we're seeing this, you know, 0.2 version of LinkedIn users that are consistent users and creators, which is why we have the whole creator concept now as well.
Yeah. So the best advice that I have for job seekers, that is literally what I had done myself. So 2008, 2009 is when I joined LinkedIn. I signed up because I lost my job, and I realized the way I was going to get my next job is networking, because if there's a big pool of people out there, it's almost like the paradox of too much choice, and you have to stand out. And the only way you're going to stand out is to literally get in front of the recruiter, to literally talk to the people who are a part of the hiring process. It doesn't always have to be that hiring manager, but somebody in the network of that company can literally change your entire trajectory. So what I would say is, if you, even as an example right now, if anyone is in these comments or listening to the replay,
yes, let us know if you're in the replay.
Yeah, go through everyone who liked this video and everyone who commented. And
there's a vibe. Them. Yes.
Stay in this warm pool of connection vibes, and you're better off going deeper in a silo of saying to yourself, you know what, I really, really liked this conversation with Judi. Then go fill in the search bar and say, in that search bar, literally type #CareerBFF, and then see what posts come up and see who was liking and commenting, and then go on what I call a connection spree that way, than just trying to search by titles or trying to search by, oh, I try to get in front of the right people. Number one, you're finding people active on LinkedIn. If they're liking and commenting, you're finding people who are literally using the platform. I'd rather you be in an energetic pool of LinkedIn users to build up your confidence again. Especially, I realized when I lost my job, I also lost that feeling of community, of being needed, of people paying attention that you went to work every day.
Mm-hmm.
And that is such a simple thing, but it's huge. So joining LinkedIn and becoming active, even back in 2009, I realized people were paying attention. I got into the very first pool of network I got into on LinkedIn was Toastmasters.
Okay.
So I found active LinkedIn Toastmasters, and we were,
cool.
It was such an interesting, unique pool of people to get active with. And then I found environmental experts, and you just find these different pools, but I want you to find active people, not
Mm-hmm.
if people aren't spending time here, it will feel empty. It will feel like, wait, what am I doing on LinkedIn? If you're just getting started, be in an active pool. Don't swim around in an empty pool by yourself unless you're into that. So
I did a little bit of that this week already, swimming around in a little pool by myself. Oh, DJ says she's a Toastmasters fan. I've been wanting to look into that. So Simone says search active users by checking people who follow hashtags. So great lead in. I love that. It was a great little softball. So you can go into hashtag career BFF, and as Judi describes, it's like a file folder that anywhere that hashtag has been used, primarily on the platform, you will see the post and comments as well. And I've grown quite a little following. I think I have almost 400 followers, I think.
That is not little.
Well, wait, let me look. I don't want to, I'm like, let me look.
Not a little following.
Maybe it's 300. Somebody look and tell me. I'm multitasking.
I'm doing it right now. I'm looking.
You're super fast, and my internet might be a little slow. But the personal hashtag has been very powerful for me on the platform, just to build that personal brand. 359.
359.
I'm getting there.
Okay, I will just say those 359 people have already said yes to, I want Anna in my newsfeed. I want what she creates and what she collaborates on. I want it to be in my newsfeed. So that is extremely powerful. 359 people is a lot. I will just say that is a lot.
Yes.
Quality over quantity. And can you imagine if 359 people showed up for every single post that you wrote and every single post you put out there?
Oh, that would be so nice. But it is.
Saying.
I mean, it's a way to build a really nice, community here. And we joke about this all the time. With my 12-year-old daughter, I'm like, don't talk to people on the internet until you get to LinkedIn, and you can make all the friends that you want. And, you and June and Harlany and Jess and Jessica, there are 5 women that I've met on LinkedIn that I talk to several times a week that are very, very close friends. And so it's just incredibly powerful. So Lisa says, if anyone would like to help me find my next job opportunity, please view my profile and connect. So I would love to jump into a little coaching here with you, Judi, with Lisa. Do you want to start?
I don't know where to start. I think do you know her?
There's a few people through Dan Roth that connected us with Lisa. She has a retail and a background in retail, and is looking to get into an office, like a front office dental type of position, if my memory serves me right. But that is part of marketing yourself here on the platform, is being specific, right?
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. So Lisa, first of all, let's just clap for the fact that you wrote here, you put yourself out there. You're literally you're putting out the energy of, hey, I am actually interested in people connecting with me, right?
Yes.
But here's the thing about LinkedIn, and here is the breakdown for why it works. We're more intrigued to check and actually view your profile and connect if you flip the conversation to being not an if-then statement, because an if-then statement gives our brains, we don't operate as if-then humans. We operate like emotional creatures. We're not robots. I mean, maybe we are, but we're foxes and camp counselors.
That's right.
So we're literally excited to meet and see everyone in the live stream. So give us an emotion that is why you're here today, and we'll be more intrigued to going and saying, like you could literally put an emotional word, glad to connect with everyone that's here. I plan on taking action on what Judi just said. So all of that would generate this kind of energy around that comment and giving us that, hey, I'm a XYZ and I'm excited to be here and I'm excited to take action and I'm going to connect with all of you.
Absolutely.
You're the action taker instead of being the passive if then statement creator. I don't know if that makes sense.
Well, and I also want to go back, like for people and job seekers that show up to live events like this, how important it is to use that type of language and build that community and take fast action during the live or immediately after to send those connection requests and make a comment about what they enjoyed that they shared during the live, what their favorite part of the live was. But again, yeah, very inclusive, but also for her, if she's going to be bold enough to make that statement, maybe switch the language around where she's from, what her background is, industries that she's interested in, again, making it easy for us to think about who are all the super cool, awesome people that we may know that would appreciate someone with a retail background that's looking to get into dental hygienist office work, right? So, but that's how my brain works. Like I remember these random things about people. So,
that's perfect. And like Dan is saying, Lisa is a deserving candidate who is worth her weight in gold. And look, people are sending her a connection request. So awesome. Join in the conversation. And I love that people are being so supportive. And so first of all, let's just celebrate. You made an action. I think we're just kind of tweaking the language so that way when you show up in a live stream that isn't me and Anna, maybe it's somebody else that you don't quite know, flip the language around and honor the speakers and say, excited to be here, love the advice, because what you say about others is actually going to be really attractive for us to go check you out. I know that seems counterintuitive, but forcing us to do the work, it actually causes us to go, I don't know why am I checking you out? I'm interested to check you out if you're interested in me. It's like that the law of reciprocity. Go give what you want to get.
Exactly.
It is a safe space here. We're just honoring you by saying, hey, if you go into a space that's not me and Anna or Simone or Bez or all these amazing people in this live stream, we really want you to get success.
Exactly. And that, I think just what has happened on this live is such a powerful testament to how we all come together to support people and connect people. And it's because of that community and that vibe and that trust, right? Everyone that's pretty much here are people that we have had public conversations with in the comments, supporting Simone's content, Dan's content, Manny's content. And that's where we feel comfortable, starting to facilitate additional conversations. And that's how I feel like job seekers can socially sell themselves here on LinkedIn, is through these types of interactions and conversations. So, awesome. This is going so good. DJ says success and abundance for everyone.
I love how she has all these sparkles behind her. And
she's so fun.
Fox talks.
She is. And Lisa says, thanks for all the great information and feedback from all the live viewers. Amazing.
And I hope we were a safe space, Lisa. We were just giving you so much positive to go, okay, we got this. We got this.
If you move her to Florida, I could get her a job. Judi is like the Oprah of LinkedIn. And you get a comment and you get a connection.
You get a connection and you get a follow.
Exactly. So it is just after 7. We have probably maybe 10 more minutes. So those of you that are tuning in, if you need a tip about being a LinkedIn Fox like Judi Fox here, pop in the comments and let us know. I, again, can't say enough about my experience working with her. When I started, I had less than 6,000 connections. I had typically about 200 views on my content, and now I have over 16,000 connections and average views of 2,500 to 10K. So moving along there. Still always testing different things out, and some days are better than others, but
isn't that the power of just keep going, because you never know what's going to hit?
Yes.
Like, really, I mean, we can know what the platform I would say that this energy around constantly knowing that post is going to take off. I don't know if we always know that for sure, because you could just hit the platform in a way that they're like, no. So that is the power of just go and keep posting and keep going. Oh, thank you so much. You were the
best.
bomb.
I think it's Judi's like engineer brain. She sees things on LinkedIn that us normal people sometimes just, it's like whoosh, right over our heads. So amazing work. I just want to go back to the engagement piece, and part of my Job Search Accelerator camp that I'm focusing on the 14th is really about actively getting in there and doing some of these engagement practices. So people leave the container being like, oh my gosh, my profile looked like this at 10 o'clock in the morning. By 3 o'clock in the afternoon, it looks like this. And we've done A, B, C, D. And now I know what it feels like to support someone else's content and have someone else support mine, and really start having these super cool, awesome conversations. And then it's like the magic starts happening, right? Mm-hmm. I used to say I grew up in a community where they would say, stick around until the miracles happen. And I totally think that applies to LinkedIn too, don't you?
Yeah, I love that we never know what is going to be the dot that connects the next dot. Like, we don't know who, and I just keep telling people are more than a job title. If you have changed jobs throughout your career, the jobs and the companies that you go with, they give you titles. And sometimes, just to be honest, your internal to the company job doesn't always translate to the world of recruiters and what they might want to look for to fill their next role that you would be perfect for.
Right.
You would literally be the perfect fit. So we kind of have to merge the energy of what an internal company might say and how they position your job to just saying, you know what, these are some of the top things I do for this job, and give yourself what I call pillars of responsibilities. So that way a title, you're more than a title. I just, at any moment in any time, you are more than the original title. Cause I was like specialist number 2. I mean, what the hell is that? Like,
but I'll tell you
what specialist number 2 is.
And I'm sure you know this from your time doing resumes and profiles, that people get super wigged out about changing their title on LinkedIn that's different than what the company gave them. So how do you help people overcome that? Because one, it has to be searchable, it has to be relatable, and it has to, again, I work in LinkedIn Recruiter, so it has to have those keywords. If your company has these wackadoo titles, they're not going to serve you to, snatch the right people to look at your profile.
Yeah, I would say you've got 2 camps. For campers. So camp number 1, you still have your current job. Awesome. I tell people to leave their headline where they might be in their experience section is their official title, because that is your experience. That is the job that you work for. And I feel like your company may be a little more sensitive in the experience section. That headline up above where you get your profile picture and what your headline is, that is the key place to put keywords anyways. So I do think you could lead with your job title of what a specialist number 2, engineer number 3, which means nothing. But what you could do is the pillars of responsibility. What literally are your keywords? What are the titles that recruiters And if you find a couple of recruiters to talk with and you have Anna and you hire her and you join the job search accelerator and she's like, go out and look for job titles and put some of the key words in there and make it so you look like that's part of your current job responsibilities versus trying to say that's your current title.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And then use your about section to like light up your resume. I feel like your profile, one, I personally believe your LinkedIn profile is more powerful than a resume because I love LinkedIn that much. And two, I think your about section is a place that you can almost use as an impact statement to complement your resume, where you can walk us through your peak career moments, your accomplishments, what people say about you, and a little bit of that personal and professional side. I know with COVID in 2020, I think we are so much more about welcoming people into our homes and our personal life. And we no longer are in this place where you have to be so buttoned up and, you know, I don't do anything outside of work. Like, tell us, because that's how recruiters, that's how we remember you. And I think it's also those human connection points that help us make those introductions and continue those conversations. Would you agree?
Yes, definitely. And I know that some people might say like, wait, I came across a person who's wearing a camping hat and a fox ears and what are they doing? But it matters more of like, there's legitimacy behind our business. And if I wanted to walk into an office tomorrow, I don't think that we discount the work that everyone does if we actually enjoy our office experience. I do remember the days of being in a cubicle and we had sports days or we had, you know, different themes, because come on, we just got to make the office and the experience of working to be a little lighthearted or a little more palatable sometimes. I don't think there's anything wrong with showing some personality, having some joy, bringing some swag. I remember at one point, a woman was battling in our office, and this is maybe a mix of a sad story with a positive, but she was battling an illness, and we all started wearing superhero themed clothing or even headbands. And we would wear them around the office for like weeks at a time just to be supportive. And it was this whole entire office cubicle section that just started wearing superhero themed things. And we started putting it around our cubicles just to show that she was a superhero and she could get through this and she can do tough things. So
yes. And I mean,
the human experience.
it is the human experience. And all the bullpens that I've sat around and my various recruiter roles, whenever we would present a candidate for a job, it always came with like a little bit of a personal story. So that's why it's so important that job seekers start to develop their personal brand, what they want to be known for, what they're, you know, amazing at, and what kind of impact that they can make, and be able to tell that story concisely and in all the right places, right? From their cover image to their headline to their about section, their experience section. And then in their interviews, it's like, you know, just wrapping it up in this beautiful little bow. But, you know, for me, coming out with a campy live series is a way to get myself out on live, and people remember that about me, about some of my fun videos, or the fact that I dress up like Ursula for Halloween and go live with June.
You're taking action, number one, but also you're showing how you can create these frames, and you're able to be creative, and come on, Anna, you're rocking it. You're literally rocking it.
It is so much fun. And I'm just excited to keep sharing all my experience, strength, and hope with job seekers. And, you know, the recruiting space is changing so quick. And this day, July 14th, is for people that don't want to wait 6 weeks to go through a course. They want to come in, spend a few hours with me, fast track their job search, get visible on the platform, learn all the best practices, which are a lot of contributed to you that I've customized to job seekers. But it's going to be an amazing time. And we're going to keep showing up and showing people how powerful this platform is and how much fun it can be, right?
Yep. Yeah,
I love it.
If you're not convinced, go sign up. Okay, so Tracy says, "Oh wait, summer camp."
Oh, Tracy says, "Sorry,
she had a question. I'm an HR leader with experience focused in biotechnology and proteins processing, having difficulty being seen by different industries. How do you make that change using LinkedIn?" So we are thinking about ourselves so much, which I totally understand. And LinkedIn can have a bit of an inbound energy to us where we have our profile and we work on it really, really hard. If you have your profile built out, the only thing I would add is maybe a relatability component. So sometimes we add things to our profile that can help strengthen our ability to find ties with people that aren't in our current industry. That's the easiest way. Like you love tennis, or if you love sports or even books, there are so many ways to be what I call that relatability. And then the other change that you can use on LinkedIn is going out and finding, if you have a different industry, so maybe it's not HR, maybe what are we headed for? Yes. So human resources leader, and go scroll down. So we're missing an about section.
That's what I was noticing.
Yes. So that about section is gold. We could literally connect even stronger with you with some of the things that you say and how you can share some of your breadth of experience. It looks like you have scroll down.
I just sent a connection request with no note. Don't do that. But since we're doing live.
I love it. I mean, there's a lot for us to get from your about section that we just can't quite get from the professional edge to the rest. The about section is the gold. It's the place where we get a chance to get to know you. What is a bit of your story? You can even say your career journey has spanned X to Z to Y, and give us a bit of your story and why you're passionate about some of the industries. And you can even list some of the industries that you would love to connect with. That is completely fine for you to literally tell us what you're interested in. So there's Tracy or Shannon.
Yeah, so I was just going to
perfect.
Give a little of an example of another HR leader, who she is, some of her favorite projects, talk about how she can pick up things quickly, some keywords of technical skills, most excited about roles that do this, and then the call to action. So Tracy, hopefully this will give you some inspiration. What else would you add here?
Connect with me and message on LinkedIn. I'd love to talk about projects you're working on in my wheelhouse. I definitely, like I was saying, if Tracy has other different industries, she would want to list out industries that she's interested in communicating with. Literally tell us. If you make it easy for us to understand what you're interested in, we literally want to talk to you. Like, we're like, oh, she's interested in this, or we can have a million random subjects that we're interested in. We don't have to be just, I like HR.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you could even list the top 10 books that she believes has impacted her career, and they don't even have to be HR related. They could be, yes, Tracy, awesome.
Send us a message. And
I'm like dancing.
I know, me too. I have to put the hotline song on in a second.
So we've done s'mores on the campfire.
I know. I have a joke.
Good.
Let's see where it went.
I need a joke.
Why did the camp counselor always wear sunglasses?
I don't know. I've never heard that. Why did the camp counselor always wear sunglasses?
Because her campers were so bright, like everyone here tonight.
That is so campy.
So campy, because that's who I am. I swear, entrepreneurship has brought out like the inner child in me, like nobody's business.
I think just having joy back in being yourself. I mean, I'm pretty cheesy. I don't know. It's always been my personality.
Yep. And I think that's why you and I get along.
Why do you camp? Because campers were so bright. Let me see. I feel like I have another joke in me. Should I share my joke right now? It could be really, it could bomb.
That's okay.
Okay. Why do archaeologists love their jobs?
Why do I can't spell archaeologists.
That's okay.
Because why do archaeologists love their job?
Because they dig their work. So bad.
So good. It's so good.
Their work.
I was looking for a couple others that I had come up with. Yes. So you have to. Oh wait. How did trees access the internet?
How did trees access the internet? I don't know.
They log in.
This is getting bad.
I love it.
This is so good, but so bad.
I know. I can tell you corny jokes and accelerate your job search on LinkedIn. Okay.
Let's break down one thing. Humor does help you remember things. And when we create these kind of jokes, I know that people might think that's campy, silly. Humor and creativity is a bit of the slip and slide in our brains to literally retaining the information.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point, that's what our brains need is those little connections to remember. They're going to say, who is that campy girl that had a live that does career coaching? Oh, it's Anna Morgan or Judi Fox. And I'm totally okay with that. But like they say, your vibe attracts your tribe. And I love the people that I get to work with. So I'm going to keep showing up. And I think that's the same for job seekers. I think they get scared because so many, especially Xers, boomers, and traditionalists have been raised, they were the be seen, not heard kind of generation, right? And they were always taught that they had to be so polished and professional and never talk about anything personal. And it's like our brains need those things to help us remember you and foster those connections. So
I think we're community driven. Oh my goodness. Glowing reviews. That's adorable.
Christine is awesome. I love her.
I love that.
Yes, thank you.
We could have a whole nother series on the mindset of the different generational job seekers, because that is very interesting. But I would definitely, and we can talk about what Julie just said, I would definitely say that we're community driven in general as human beings. We really don't truly crave from a core thing.
Yeah.
We want to belong, whether we belong in small groups, big groups. But I think in the past, as I was raised by somebody in the silent generation, because I was not raised by a boomer, because I'm Gen X and I have two older siblings. So I have the silent generation raised me, and part of that generation was work is your community. And I remember thinking the last job that I had, but it's changed. It really has. And I wish that it was still the way that it was when my dad was going through his corporate experience. I think we're finding community in places here like LinkedIn where we can support each other. And it doesn't always mean it's the person sitting next to you in the desk next to you anymore. I mean, in some ways that would be great, but that's just not the way of the world. So
yeah, absolutely.
Julie, can you talk about finding clarity when looking to change roles or industries? Microphone over to Anna.
So I will say, Julie, that if you are looking for clarity to change roles or industries, first, you should talk and write out your values of you as a human being, what's important to you, and what legacy you want to leave behind. And then over to Judi, how she reverse engineers things, then figure out a way to back into the type of role or industry based on your values, your interest, the people who've been most influential to you, and the things that light you up inside. Over to you.
Microphone.
Microphone. Over to you.
From my experience of changing industries and roles, because I have done that, I've changed from engineering to business development and sales to becoming an online coach and LinkedIn, I don't know, LinkedIn Business Accelerator, a business coach. I would say that the biggest thing is to find the strengths that align, that are bigger strengths and skills. So the transferable skills and the strengths underneath it all. Mm-hmm. If that is what's called Strengths Finders, if that works for you, I have all those books on my shelf. But I think the core beneath each of us is to acknowledge that you see the world like Julie sees the world the only way that Julie sees the world. And we need people to feed into you what your strengths are, what people say about you, what people would write for you as a recommendation. And sometimes that doesn't mean she is this exact role in this exact industry. If you notice, when people write you recommendations and reviews, they talk about your work ethic. They talk about your transferable skills. Mm-hmm. For you. So if you don't have any recommendations, go out and at least find one. One will snowball into another one, and go take Strength Finders. I am not currently sponsored by them. I'm just kidding.
They're great. I mean, there's a lot of tools out there that can help
you can figure out list for Strength Finders.
Yeah. And then you have the Gretchen Rubin's 4 tendencies, all different options out there. So the key is self-reflection and awareness. And I think, going for it too, like being bold and not being afraid to get out there and network and get out of your comfort zone, talk to people, reach out, earn the right to ask for someone's time that has a position that you want, and share best practices and let them be a mentor, let them be of service. There's so many people here that are willing to help in a variety of different ways. Okay, we are running short on time. I can't believe it's almost 7:30. We have loved having you hang out here at JSA camp with us. Coming up, what is today? Today is Tuesday. Friday, I'm going to have Dan Roth on. And then Saturday, I have Jessica Williams, one of my fellow job search angels, joining me as well. And then, the camp should be closing by Friday, the 8th, I think, because there is homework involved. So I can set you up for success on that same day. So just a couple more days to enroll. And here is Judy's headline. So be sure to follow #FoxRocks. And she is always running some kind of LinkedIn Business Accelerator. So definitely check out her website, which is judyfox.com.
The and I, it's JDI.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. And oh my gosh, I love you and miss you and can't wait to hang out.
Time.
I know. I'm going to come back up to Virginia and visit you and hang out. So
I met a fox today at camp, and I was a welcome fox, not a scary fox at the campfire.
That's right. That was like, oh, I see her in the wilderness doing super cool, awesome things.
It is a fox in the woods, if you see my background.
I love that background. By the way, did you go to summer camp as a kid?
I don't think I went to a full, I think I had summer camp moments. I didn't have a full experience at a summer camp.
Yeah. I was saying I did more sports camps, which is why I think I'm loving this vibe.
I went to a running camp one summer. I spent the week running.
I did basketball camps and volleyball and softball and stuff like that.
So sports camps, it's all good. We still had those campfire moments. Wow.
Exactly.
Sports.
Well, this has been the Job Search Accelerator Summer Camp Live Series. Judi Fox, you are amazing. Thank you for joining the conversation and for providing experience, strength, and hope for job seekers here today. And so grateful to have you as a friend. Follow hashtag Fox Rocks. Come back on Friday at 6:30. We will see you then. Bye, everyone.